Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
It's time! 17 seconds from Game 7 or from championship number 6. Jordan open. Chicago with the lead. I've got a piece of it. It comes off. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship.
Tying run at second, 2 out. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
To the far side around the 8-yard line to Hester. Under it and to the middle with the 15 to the 20, breaks free of the 25 to the 30, to the outside, 40, midfield, 40, 30 to the coast, 20, 15, Hester 5. Oh! Touchdown!
Toward Bryant. He will glove it toward Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome, Shawn and Maya, in the morning on this TGI Mickey Ficky Friday. It's the weekend, baby. And I'm your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook Live, well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. If you're not following us on Facebook, what? Come on, go to Facebook, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the like button. Now you're following Sports Zone Chicago, but wait, there's more. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning, like that page as well. So not only will you be following Sports Zone Chicago, but you'll be following Shawn and Maya in the morning as well. If you're watching us on our YouTube channel, excellent. And if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, for real, come on, man, go to Chicago, click the subscribe button, but also click the notification button. That's the little bell right next to it. That'll let you know anytime a show from Sports Zone Chicago is going live. Get it? Got it? Good. Now, if you're watching us on our mobile app, come on, man. Don't tell me you didn't know we had a mobile app. What your problem is? Come on, man. All right, go to wherever you get your apps from. It doesn't matter where you get your apps from, but go there. It doesn't matter whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zayre, Zemsky, Macy, Montgomery Ward, Venture, Weebles, Woolworths, okay, Goldblatt's. It doesn't matter. But you go there, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, you take us with you on the go. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, but you get our other live shows throughout the week. All right. And they're archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube. All right. Appreciate it. We would appreciate it. Now, if you watch this on a Roku channel, and I like that kind of party, baby. And if you didn't know, come on, man, you better ask somebody. Sports Zone Chicago, we have our own Roku channel. So do us a favor, download Sports Zone Chicago's channel to your television. Put it on next to Netflix, Apple TV, Prime Video, HBO, Hulu. Oh, snap, Stars. The new series, the final season of Power starts today. Yes, I know what I'm watching when I get back from picking up the Warden. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. But I digress. Put us right there on the big screen. Hell, we're on the big screen, right? Mickey now. You can also tweet the show. You can tweet at Sports Zone Shy. That's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. Now, if you want to follow me, just me personally, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. I made it nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. At the Shawn Sierra. Listen, we have a phenomenal show for you, but I need you to get interactive with us. So whatever platform you're watching us on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or mobile app, leave a question or comment on that platform. It'll come up in the thread. We'll put it up on the screen. We'll incorporate it into the show. And that, my peoples, is what makes this the best morning Chicago sports talk show around. And that's you. So bring them all, baby. Questions, comments, smart-ass remarks, because ain't nobody over here. And like The Rock said, don't sing it, baby. Just bring it. Let's see who we have in the chat, because the chat is jumping already, and I like it. Oh, man. First in line, my man Armando Emeterio Lara Jr. My man Junior, what's up, Papa? How are you? Hope you're feeling better today, buddy. Hope all is well. My man Cornelius, what up? What up? Sports Zoners. That's what we're talking about. Levette Lee is in the house. Good morning, Ma. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. She's like, hey, y'all. My man, Shawn Walls is in the house. A Mickey Ficky TGIF, and football season just begins for real. Yes. Junior, I'm sorry to hear that you're still in the hospital, Papa. I hope you get your discharged very soon. Jay Grizz is in the house, baby. Good morning, Jay Grizz. Yeah, he's like, good morning, sports zoners. I like it. He is in the house. Good morning, Luis. Rise and grind, Papa. Really? You know, give me strength. Give me strength. I'm telling you, some people are just. Anyway, King Book of World, what's up, Papa? How you doing, man? Salute, chat, and Shawn. He writes, "That's awesome." Oh, King Book of World. Already tired of the hype of the Titans, and I can't believe I just said that. Cornelius Squall's in the house. He's talking about the NFL got off to a roaring start. That was a great game last night. Wow. Oh, look at King Book of World. Get off my white and brown Zayers bag. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. And my man Junior says, Sports Zone Chicago and cream of wheat in the morning. Very, very nice. Oh, snap. Back by popular demand. Mr. Shorty is in the house. What's up, Mr. Shorty? Good to see you back. Good to see you back. Luis, truer words have never been spoken. Luis Mejia writes, beep the Packers. Yes. Screw them Jamokes. And checking in, Brewhouse 7. What's up, baby? Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. You know, you little. I'm telling you, people are just something else. But for all my people who saw Heartbreak Ridge with Clint Eastwood and Mario Van Peebles, we improvise, we overcome, we adapt. That's what we do. Listen, we got a great show for you. A great show. Mr. Shorty writes, I'm in the office, so I can't chat, but bear the F down. Way to go, baby. Hell yeah. I don't know if I mentioned it. Hell yeah. I love it. We're all fired up. The NFL got off to a running start yesterday. We're going to talk about the show today, man. Got an interview with my man Frank Schwab. We're trying to get loaded up. We interviewed him yesterday, so I want to get that. If we can get that uploaded, we're working on getting that ready for you. Yeah, we're working on that. At 10 o'clock, my man Ken Davis. All right, Ken Davis is going to join us. I'm looking forward to talking to him about this whole situation. This whole situation called the season opener. So we're going to talk season opener. We're going to talk the little bit of Hard Knocks at the end, but we're going to talk about Sunday. It's here, baby. Football season is here. Got off, was it Cornelius? Said it got off to a roaring start yesterday, and man, oh man. Let me tell you. Missed it by that much. You know, yeah, Cornelius said it got off to a roaring start. If you watched that game last night, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Man. Jay Grizz, you ain't lying. Instead of a 14, it should have been a 13 and a half. Should have been a size 13 and a half, not a 14. It would have. And what was hilarious, so I'm at a bar, my buddy's bar. I think it's a spot to the show. But one of our friends is a big Chiefs fan. He's a Chiefs and Bears fan. Chiefs are his AFC team, and the Bears are his number one team overall. And he was like, no, he's out of bounds. He's out of bounds. He was screaming. And before they did all the review and everything, you saw the coach, going for two. And that's what I asked him just in the middle of that drive, maybe a couple plays before that. I'm like, did the Ravens go for two? You're on the road. You don't want to. I mean, those are the rules. All right, the consensus rules when you're on the road, and you score at the end of the game. Do you go for a tie, or do you go for two to win? You go to. I thought he was going for two, and sure enough, it looked like he was going for two. And then they reviewed it, and he stepped out of bounds. He missed it by that much. Whew. So great game yesterday. We're going to talk more about that. King Booker World says, call them the Kansas City false starts. Amazing how the refs hardly see it. Yeah, you're talking about their offensive tackle? Because to me, that right tackle was a guy kept moving back a lot before the snap, or multiple times before the snap. Yeah, Jay Grizz. Yes, so it wasn't just me. It was Jay Grizz, right? Did you see that right tackle, King Booker World? He was moving early every single time. But they want to call the illegal formation on the Titans. I mean, on the Ravens. Like, come on, man. Just because Swifty was in the house, like, come on, man. What the? Wow. Anyway, I digress. Ken Davis at 10 o'clock, and I'm fired up to talk to him. It is going to be fun. Going to be fun. But listen, we got to get started. So listen, you know how we do the first segment of every show? It's called Top of the Morning.
It won't come just when you want it. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
See, the first top of the morning topic, man. Where do we go? Man, we got a lot to talk today. The Cubs host the Yankees for a 3-game set tonight starting tonight at Wrigley Field. They welcome back one of their 2016 World Series champion heroes, Anthony Rizzo. This will be his first trip back to the friendly confines since the trade. Woo-wee. First pitch is at 1:20 p.m. Central Time. You can catch that game on Marquee Network or check it out on their flagship station, 670 a.m. You know, how crazy is it going to be for Rizzo? I mean, you got nothing but love for him. All right, remember, he caught it. You saw it in the opener. He caught it. Jumping up and down. Took the ball, put it in his back pocket. They celebrated on the pitcher's mound, or right off the pitcher's mound. Yeah. The probables for tonight games. Luis Gil is on the bump for the Evil Empire. He's 12-6 with a 3.39 ERA going up against Jordan Wicks, who's 2-2 with a 3.82 ERA. It's going to be crazy out there when they introduce. You know they're going to have a video tribute for him. They have to. It's been what, 3 years, 4 years since he's been gone? Crazy. His first time back. Well, keeping it moving. The next top of the morning topic: the good guys, the White Sox. They travel to Beantown, Boston's wicked piss over there, for a weekend set, riding a huge 1-game winning streak. First pitch is at 6:10 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on NBC Sports Chicago or listen to it on their flagship station, ESPN 1000. That's 1000 a.m. How long can they keep this win streak going? It's when you win this many games. I mean, any game, any game can break it. I just hope the White Sox, after winning this many games, they don't play to they play to win and not played not to lose. Oh, that's awesome. The probables for tonight's game, Davis Martin. Uh-oh. Yeah, Davis Martin's on a bump for the good guys. He's 0-3 with a 3.62 ERA going up against Nick Pivetta, who's 5-10 with a 4.53 ERA. The next topic, the Sky. They host the LA Light at Wintrust Arena. Tip-off is at 8:30 p.m. Central. You can catch that game on Ion Television. All right. They don't have a radio. See, I guess that's their next move. They need a radio sponsor. They need a radio station. They need to get their games broadcast on radio. And then there's more money for the franchise. All right. This Ion thing, this is one with the league. They have a deal with the Marquee Network as well. So when the games aren't on, and it might be on Marquee as well, I'm not sure. But most of their games are on the Marquee Network. So they have a deal with them, which is great. It's great. It's great. Next up, the morning topic. The NFL season kicked off last night with a bang. Two-time defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City team edged out the Baltimore Ravens 27-20. We talked about that a little earlier, and what a show. The NFL knows how to do it, baby. NFL knows how to do it. And I'll tell you what, it was great to see, the excitement, the pageantry. So what was really funny is, the guy I was with yesterday, the one I told you is a big Chiefs fan. He was there in a preseason game, the Chiefs-Bears. He's got family there. So they sent him a picture of the, pregame. So at the top of the stadium, they have fireworks. They shoot off stuff right as the game started, right before the game started. He was showing me that. So they were fired up. The Kansas City Chiefs are going for unprecedented three-peat. Okay. In the Super Bowl era. Right? No team has won it in the Super Bowl era. I don't know if the Bears did, but I think they said the Packers did it back when they're just NFL championship games, like 56, 55, 56, 57, or something like that. But in the Super Bowl era, this will be the first team, if they can do it, to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. And I'll tell you what, if they end up winning the 3 Super Bowls in a row, I will, as my coach Schaller used to say, God rest his soul, rest in peace, Coach Schaller. He's like, I'll bet my left nut. You couldn't block my left nut, or I'll bet my left nut. Everything was his left nut. So in honor of Coach Schaller, I'll bet my left nut that Travis Kelce retires. I'll bet it. I will bet it. What's he got, 3? Yeah, no. He'll go out with 4 Super Bowl titles and then go off a winner, kind of like John Elway did, Peyton Manning. Yeah, that'd be good. Perfect. You know what? Here's what we'll do. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. We're going to take a quick break. On the other side of the break, with top of the morning topics. All right? So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
Many will hear the calling. Few will earn the title. United States Marine. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
How do you take care of your mind health?
For my mental health, I meditate in the mornings.
I have my dogs. They're the best.
I just find ways that help me just relax.
Finding things that make me happy, like being close to my family.
I meditate a lot and read books.
I have hobbies outside of the game. I'm able to switch off. I'm able to turn my brain off from the game of basketball.
Your mind health matters.
Your mind health matters.
We are looking for a few heroes, mentors, trailblazers, innovators, a passion to change lives, spark curiosity, open hearts, and awaken minds, help students answer the question, who am I? This could be your calling, but this is no job. It's the journey of a lifetime. Be a hero. Be a teacher.
Mental health and learning disorders don't discriminate. 17 million children and adolescents in the United States live with disorders like anxiety, depression, ADHD, and dyslexia. Less than half get the help they need to thrive. Help the Child Mind Institute change these children's lives. Visit childmind.org.
Nobody out. Nobody out. To the left field. It's a base hit. It stops at third. Then it's bobbled. Half comes in to score. Say at a second. It's 1-0 Cubs. Early second. He rips it into left center field. Reynolds into the gap, and he can't get it. Bangs off the wall. Here's the throw home. It's late. It's an RBI double for Pete Crow Armstrong. The 0-2. Ground ball right side, base hit. 1 run is in. Crow Armstrong heading home. He'll score. Cubs lead 4-0. It's getting to him tonight. Drilled in the air, deep left field. Back goes Reynolds to the wall. It's gone. 2-run homer, Dansby Swanson. A hanging breaking ball, and the Cubs take a commanding 6-0 lead. Boy, that left the park in a hurry.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those clips courtesy of the Marquee Network. Those were Cubbies the other day. They were off yesterday, so that was on Wednesday. And it was a good day for Chicago. A great day for Chicago. Cubs won. Sox won. Go figure. Go figure. But where were we at? Yeah. Let's see this. Let me something real quick. Nope. Son of a biscuit. All right. Next top of the morning topic. Tonight, the Packers. Packers take on the Philadelphia Eagles in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Kickoff is at 7:15 our time. You can catch that game on Peacock, or you can listen to it on on 670 AM. It's Westwood One, their radio, and Westwood One. So you could check that out. All I'm going to say is this is the only thing I want to say. All right. Because you know how I feel about that stupid team. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's go. You know how awesome that would be? Do you know how awesome that would be if Packers lose, the Bears win, all the other teams in the NFC North lose, but the Bears. The Bears are atop the NFC North just for 1 week. Even if it's just 1 week, I don't care. I don't care. What stupid song was that? I love it or something. I don't even know who that is. I've heard it a million times. But anyway, that'd be dope. That would be dope. I just think that would be an omen. Like, this is how it's going to be, baby. Bears on top. Everybody else looking up at us. And speaking of the next top of the morning topic, the Bears, baby. That's what we're talking about. The Bears. All right. The Bears open up the season on Sunday at Soldier Field against the Tennessee Titans. Kickoff is at noon Central. You can catch that game on Fox 32, or you can listen to it on their flagship stations, ESPN 1000, 1000 AM. Sorry. Bears fans are really excited, and they have every reason to be. We have every reason to be excited. Okay? I'm really looking forward to a lot of things. Seeing how this offense progresses. Seeing how this defense. Can this defense come out and literally manhandle this new offense? All right? They're learning a new offense in Tennessee. All right? Will Levis, I know it's his second year, but he's learning a new offense under Brian Callahan. All right? Former OC of the Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. You don't know what to expect. You don't know. There's no film on them, so you can't really look. I just think this defense needs to realize that this game is going to fall on them. All right, this game has to fall on them, and I think that they got to have a couple I'd say 3 turnovers, maybe 4 would be great for this defense to really help out Caleb, because again, there's no film. Okay, everything's gonna have to be on the fly. The coaches are gonna have to be diligent in understanding and seeing, and noticing tendencies and get that information related to the players, because of the fact that there's been little film work. Because there's no film on this team. All right, with the new coaches, you can't look at last year's big Derrick Henry. He was playing last night for the Ravens. All right, the style of play is going to be different. I would presume, and I would assume, and I know what happens when you assume, you make an ass out of you and an umption. That's an assumption. But I assume they're going to throw the ball a lot. All right, Will Levis is not a rookie anymore. All right, I think he's ready. He's excited. I think they have some good running backs. Tony Pollard is on the Titans team, and he's more of a dual threat running back. So he's I bet my left nut again that they throw the ball a lot. All right, and if they do, that plays right into the hands of us. For us, all right, our defense, our secondary is one of the best, if not the best, secondary in the NFL. Yeah. All right. So Montez Sweat needs to step up. Andrew Billings needs to collapse the pocket from the inside. Gervon Dexter. I would love it if Gervon Dexter just came out and just destroyed people today. Sunday. Oh, sorry. I would love it. If Gervon Dexter came out and said, hey, listen, I am that 3 tech that they thought I was going to be. I am that dude. I would be so freaking happy. Because that solves a lot of problems. In the run game, in the pass game, you got Montez Sweat coming from that side. You have Gervon Dexter coming from that side. You have Billings coming up the middle. I love it. But we'll see. There's a lot to be, and everyone's going to look at the other end, the end opposite Montez Sweat. Are we getting pressure from that particular side of the ball? All right. And I know people are gonna complain about it. They've been complaining about it. I think they've addressed it enough to the point. I think we're going to see how Austin Booker plays. All right. I think we got to figure that out. Once he plays like a couple of games, DeMarcus Walker's going to have to do well. I also talked about Booker. Man, if he could just go in on third downs. Okay. Going on third downs or pure passing downs, 2nd and 20. All right. 2nd and 25. All right. Definitely 3rd and long. Get him in there. Get bump DeMarcus Walker inside, take out Billings. If you know what I mean, if you want, there's a lot of different things that Matt Eberflus will do to get to the pass rusher. So, I'm a little leery because we don't have film on him. But the thing that kind of settles that down a little bit is this defense. This defense is ready. This defense has a lot to prove. Quite a few players have a lot to prove. Damn it. Quite a few players have a lot to prove. And Jalen Johnson, we talked about it. He's already said he feels like he has a lot to prove. He wants that number one, the first team All-Pro. He felt snubbed by his peers, his colleagues. In the NFL's top 100 was voted on by the players, and he missed out. He was not in the top 100. So, it is a defense that really, I think they want to make their mark. I really think they want to step out and show to the nation, the rest of the NFL, last year was no joke. Last year was no fluke, especially the last 6 games where they were the number 1 defense in the NFL. I think they want to stay atop the NFL. I think they want to be a force to be reckoned with, and you just see it the way that they go through. They go through practices and their interviews and what they're talking, the way that they're speaking. There's a conviction about them, and it's not arrogant. It's not braggadocious. It's not anything like that at all. It is one of those guys wanting to get to work. That I respect. Yeah, Cornelius writes, their coach is coming from the Bengals organization. The Bears dominated the recent practice that they had. But he wasn't there. He was with Tennessee. He wasn't there in the practice they had. It has nothing to do with it. It's a new squad. It's a new staff in Cincinnati. Jay Grizz. She writes, I find it funny how everyone keeps talking about the Bears got to watch out for the Titans, but nobody's saying how the Titans or any other team got to watch out for the Bears. When you say you got to watch out because you're thinking some team can jump up on you and get you. The Bears aren't jumping up on anybody. Everybody knows what the Bears can potentially do. Everybody knows that once this offense gets rolling, you better watch out because this defense is going to be top-notch from Jump Street. So I don't think no one's saying you got to watch out for the Bears because everybody knows the Bears are going to be legit this year. Jay Grizz, that's what I think. All right, I think you all you got to do is look at how they finished the season. What was it, 7-2, something like that? At the end of the year, it was 6-2 or something like that. It was. And the defense was a different team after Montez Sweat got there. So people know the Bears ain't sneaking up on anybody. And if you see all the people talking, all the prognosticators and the analysts and the bloggers, not just from Chicago, but nationally and in other cities, that's nationally, but not just here, but nationally. Yeah, they know. They know the Bears are ready to be. They're about to be one. They're about to be a team that you cannot mess with. They're about to be a team that's a competitor, a perennial playoff contender. But as Plank says, Jay Grizz, they all will know soon enough. I agree. I see your point, though, Jay Grizz. I see your point. Watch out for the Titans because there's just certain factors. Again, you have no film on them, and that's the foundation of any football game is film, watching film. When you don't have that, you're kind of going in blind. And that's a tough thing. And again, this is where this defense needs to really, really, really step up. All right, we need some turnovers. We need some sacks. We need some pressures. We need, short fields for the offense. Let them do what they got to do. Cornelius Squalls asked, did the Titans hire their coach because of his role? Well, I think you answered your own question there, Cornelius. Yeah, of course. You don't get a head coaching gig unless you have success, especially if you're a coordinator. If you're in the league, yeah. I mean, him and Joe, he took Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. He was the guy behind their Super Bowl run a couple of years ago. I actually thought he was going to be gone last year, but I was hoping. I really didn't worry about him. I wanted Bobby Slowick out in Detroit. And who's the dude? The dude in Texas, in Houston. I wanted those two guys out. Those two guys I wanted out. Those two offensive coordinators I wanted to get head coaching gigs, which they probably will after this season. Because I'm telling you, people don't understand that coaching matters. I'm sorry, Bobby Slowick. Bobby Slowick is in Houston. OG Ben Johnson is the one in Detroit. My apologies. I thought Ben Johnson was going to get a head coaching gig, but he came back. And Slowick was in Houston with CJ Stroud. One of the questions I have is about on the offense is Caleb be able to facilitate? Is he going to lean on his players, as Coach Eberflus has talked about so often? Is he going to be able to trust, like, let me just hit the slant, let me just hit this quick, and not try and do too much? Michelle Walser, you didn't see my comment. What comment, Michelle? Let me see what you're talking about, buddy. Oh, let me get to that in a second. Let me go back and look in a second. But let me finish the point. Is Caleb going to be able to not play Superman? Now, he's saying the right things, and if he follows through with what he's saying, man, perfect. Get it. It sounds like if he does, remember, he's reiterated what Coach Eberflus says, lean on my players and blah, 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 and not do too much on third down, or only when I need to do something, then do it. He's reiterating that's everything Coach Eberflus has said. So that conversation's been had ad nauseum. All right, ad nauseum. They're saying, hey, just don't lose it. They're asking him to be a game manager with a few plays of being Superman. And that's okay. And that's perfect. Because if he's Brock Purdy with this year, just this year, everything changes in the NFL season to season. If he's Brock Purdy with a few splashes of Superman, this team's going to be good. This offense is going to be really good. As long as you can stay controlled, disciplined, and get it out on 3. 3-step drop, 5-step drop. Don't put him in harm's way. Don't give him a lot of 5 and 7-step drops. Don't do that. You'll have some because you're going to take a shot deep. You're not just going to sit there and hit short passes here and there. It's not happening. But if you're able to run the ball and you're able to hit these short passes, and man, DJ Moore breaks the tackle, Roma Dunze breaks the tackle, Bayless Jones just runs away from somebody, Tyler Scott on these slants, these crossing routes, or the swing routes to Bayless Jones, he gets by the backer. If he does that, okay. My man Barlissimo, what's up, Papa? Checking in from across the pond. Good afternoon. I'd say top of the morning, but it's not morning over there. Thank you, sir. He said, Barlissimo said, this is going to be a tough game, people. Titans got a lot better this offseason. And Barlissimo also writes, Simmons versus Braxton Jones is a mismatch based on Braxton's weaknesses being Simmons' strength. Bull rush or long arm to power. Off the Dub says, Caleb Williams coming out throwing. He's been waiting for this moment his whole life. Expect something big. Expect something big from him. Yeah, that's the thing. I just want to make sure, don't come out and do too much. That's the big thing. He'll find his place. All right. They'll get comfortable with him. And the thing I'll say to Barlissimo is that Braxton Jones has improved from year 1 to year 2. Year 1 to year 2, which year 2 was last year, he improved on the bull rush, against the bull rush. And I also think that from year 2 to year 3, which would be this year for him, he'll improve even more. And he's going to get a good test of it early. So we'll find out. But I think he's going to do better than many people may think. Because you have to continue to improve your game. And for Braxton Jones, his game the area in his game that needed to be improved was the bull rush, protecting against the bull rush. Can he anchor? Well, he did a much better job last year than he did his rookie year, and I'm anticipating him doing a better job this year than last year. Because if we're able to see it, all right, and if common fans are able to see it, many people have marveled, not just me and you, Barlissimo, but many people have noticed that. If the common fan, you don't think they see it there, you don't think he understands, you don't think it's been expressed to him, I think it has. And I think he's going to make a concerted effort to make sure that area gets stronger. Off the Dub is fired up. He said, Bears defense pressures Titans QB into multiple turnovers. From your lips to God's ears, Off the Dub. From your lips to God's ears. King Book of World says, Barlissimo, salute. I think it'll be a tough game, but the Titans aren't the boogeyman the media is trying to make them out to be. You also have to remember, King Book of World, this is still a show. NFL is a show. It's production. All right. And the more you get, it provides a lot of fodder, a lot of fuel to the fire for conversations. A lot of fuel to the fire. And when you go, this team is great, this team is great, this team is great, and you plant that negative seed in the Bear fans, it's easy to do because of the history that we've had recently. King Book of World writes, this is going to be The one guy who has been silent for the Bears so far, Komet. This is a Komet game. That'd be great. I think that'd be great. You know, I don't care whose game it is. I just want the dub. BTSD, Shawn. Bears traumatic syndrome. I get it. I hear you. But it's also, remember, they also feed on that. So how it's going to play out, I don't know, but I'm looking forward to it. But again, this defense, the one thing that's got me really fired up is this defense. The confidence that this defense has is second to none. Second to none. And I apologize if you hear the landscaping engine in the back. I don't know if they're chopping trees or if that's the trimmer or what, but I slept with the window open last night and I didn't know today was landscaping day. I didn't know. The one thing that really got me excited, and I've mentioned this a few times, is the chemistry, the camaraderie on this team. All right, many people, a lot of you in this chat have played football. Now, if you've been on championship teams, you understand that those teams had for the most part, those teams had great chemistry. But more importantly, off the field, those teams wanted to hang out together. Those guys, you do crazy stuff together. Okay, and you can tell by the guys here that they liked hanging out with each other. You know, they like doing stuff together. They like being teammates. And that's the one thing that's got me, the one positive that has me kind of fired up for this, is that watching what the way this team acts and also the way they're talking, they feel like they have a lot to prove. Like someone who wants their respect. All right, and they're a team that wants their respect. King Booker World also writes, Caleb is going to be fine. A few mishaps here and there, and a few wow games. His defense got him ready. If a boxer spars with Sugar Ray every day, you trying to flow Sugar Ray every day? You can't help but get better and be prepared. No, I agree. And he's talked about it. How this defense haven't let up on him from when he got here from Jump Street. This defense has come at him. They've thrown things at him. Okay, disguises, various coverages, because they want to make sure when we go to war for real, when we go to battle for real, I need to know you can handle it. And how many times did we hear during training camp, oh, Caleb got the best of him today. Caleb got the best of him today. We heard a lot more defense got the best of Caleb, and that I'm okay with. Because if a top 2, and they're not number 2, defense in the NFL can get the best of you on a consistent basis, that's what they should do. Because I'd have been a lot more concerned if Caleb was getting the best of a supposedly top 2 defense, a rookie. Then I'd be concerned. But I think this team has an aura about them. I think this defense has an aura about it. I think it has a swag about it. I think they're really focused and determined to be taken seriously and respected. Taken seriously and respected. So here's what we're going to do. All right. We're going to take another quick break. On the other side of the break, we're going to welcome my guy, Ken Davis, from the Under Center podcast at NBC Sports Chicago. All right, we're going to continue this Bears talk as we are the eve of the Bears season opener, which is also their home opener. All right, we're going to continue this conversation. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Hey, it's your boy, the SuperBack, Shawn Sierra, and be sure to follow Sports Zone Chicago on all social media platforms, on Facebook, Instagram, and our Roku channel. You can find us at Sports Zone Chicago, and on Twitter, we are at Sports Zone Shy. Also, be sure to download our mobile app so you can take Sports Zone Chicago with you on the go.
Time out. How are you feeling right now? Happy? Excited? Angry? Overwhelmed? One of the best things you can do for your mind health is to name what you're feeling. It can sharpen your awareness and help you talk about your feelings with someone you trust. Here are 3 questions to ask yourself. Where are your thoughts right now? In the past, the present, the future? Do you notice any sensations in your body? Is your heart beating fast? Is there a flutter in your stomach? Or are you fully relaxed? What do you need right now? Time with others? Time to yourself? Remember, there's power in this awareness. So find ways to identify what you're feeling today.
Hi, guys. Hey. Hi, Megan. Hey, Jessica. Megan, you're a tramp. Brian Fitch told me you guys made out. Everybody knows. He said your breath smells like garbage. And he almost puked. He says you're the most desperate girl he knows, besides your mom. How many boyfriends does she have anyway? Lots? Your makeup makes you look like a clown. That zit is huge, zit face.
Hey, bud, what you doing?
I'm playing with cars.
Cars? Can you show me what a car does? Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on a second. First of all, this is a school zone. So you need to put down your cell phone, stop texting, and let's get to driving. Now you're coming up to a stop sign, right? You need to slow down and stop before you hit that Y line. I want you to look left, right, left. You don't want to get hit by a car going on your left and to your right to make sure you don't get sideswiped by a guy coming from your right. You're coming, and you see a crosswalk. You better slow your horses down because the #1 rule of driving is always yield to pedestrians. Now stop, pull over, and you are done driving. Gosh, what do they teach you kids in school nowadays?
Hardman, who's fighting for a roster spot as well.
Picked off. Red zone turnover there for Oladokin. Reddy Stewart with the interception. 1,209 yards and 8 touchdowns. This time, no place to go. It's going to be a loss of a yard on the play. Oladokin blitz is coming. Moving to his left, now to his right. He's going to take off, throw it downfield. Tony's there. But broken up at the last possible second.
Inside, and now let's use bringing pressure.
Ripping up the field, looking for Scott. He's got the football. Tyler Scott. That was a gorgeous throw there from Rippin.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Those comes courtesy of actually CBS. I noticed that late. My apologies. That was our Bears. All right. And I'm excited for Sunday. I'm excited for the season. And there's a lot to be excited about. All right. Let's bring in my guest. Not even my guest, my guy. What's up, guy? He's the host of the Under Center podcast on NBC Sports Chicago. You can find him on Twitter at That's Davis. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya. My man's in them, Ken Davis. Davis in the house. What's up?
What's going on, man? That berry early in the morning always gets me just right, man. I appreciate it. How's everybody in the chat? What's going on, Shawn?
Man, I'm good, bro. I'm good. It does. It puts a smile on your face. You know what I mean? Like,
people need that type of music today. That's the problem. Half of the society, you don't got that. You get that. It's only so much killing you gonna do if you got that playing in the background.
And then another side is it's another kind of killing. That part right there.
That part right there.
Man, I'm fired up, dog. I'm fired up. You know, there's a lot to be excited about. You know, we're still looking at our wound. Many people are still looking at their wounds from the Civil War, and we move forward, and we're here. We're ready to go, man. You know, we're excited about what this offense has. We're excited about, you know, for me, again, the biggest acquisition was Shane Waldron. Shane Waldron's got a new toy, a young toy that he can mold. I'm excited about it. Talk to me about your thoughts with Shane Waldron and Caleb Williams going into this thing together. When Shane Waldron has a nice little track record of working with Russell, working with Geno Smith, hell, even giving Geno Smith a nice little, getting him a nice contract extension. Talk about that, because that's to me about the possibilities.
I'm gonna dive into that, but Buka World with the drop of down Davis, and before I came in, how he was talking about, because every time you play that the more you know commercial where the little girl's bullying the girl, and you got to realize that they're supposed to be on the internet when it happens, but they're showing you don't do. But I wish the mother would just snatch that little girl up every time that damn thing's up. Like all of a sudden, the little girl's talking, and you see a white woman come and grab her ass up. But yeah,
get out my house.
What the hell? And me too, in my face. Like, anyway. What's up, Mondo? What's up, everybody? Shawn, everybody in the chat, man. And you know I love y'all in the chat. Now getting around to Waldron and Caleb. I like the fact that you brought up Geno Smith's contract. I mean, also let's not even just say his contract. You're talking about a quarterback that was dead in the water when you're talking about Geno Smith. He was a certified bust. Like, he had on the bust chain. First thing you thought of when you thought about Geno Smith was him getting his jaw broke in the Jets locker room. And I hate to say that because you hate to think about someone's worst moment, but unfortunately how our minds are set up, you think about either something that's famous or infamous about that person when you see them, you know, or maybe just how my mind is worded. I won't put it on everybody else.
Yeah, because we think of Olin and the guy we brought over.
But even with that, I will say Olin has such a career. It's not the first thing I think of. You know, it's like at least if you got stuff that you can build upon. But Geno remember when Geno came out of West Virginia, how a teammate was like he wasn't a quarterback. Like, it was a lot. As soon as he got into the league in the draft, it was piling on him. Anyway, getting back to you. One thing about Shane Waldron is this, and you basically mentioned it, and his pathway coming out of the Sean McVay plan and why you should feel good about it. It's not about circle, round hole. It's I'm going to fit whatever this is that I'm going to fit. You know what I'm saying? And that's one, you saw that, and I'm not going to say he needed more structure. He needed more time as a play caller. But you saw that with Luke Getsy, where he didn't know how to take advantage of everything that he had instead of trying to make it look like what Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers was doing in Green Bay. You want somebody who is, you know what? Like, I'm the type of person where you give me the ingredients and let me just taste it. I can get it to where it needs to get. You know what I'm saying? Like, wait, give me. It's a little bitter. Let me get this honey real quick. Like, I'll get it to it. Yeah. I need some herbs. I need some herbs right here. I'm gonna get it right there. And I view Waldron as a lot more of that offensive mind than someone that's rigid. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. So I think one, they had to, because we was on Matt Eberflus. You know what? Like, look, I don't love Hard Knocks, but the point being, some parts of it seems like Flus acting like we wasn't on his you know what last year, and it's like it's cool because I don't think they quit on him, so it's like it'd be different if I saw them quit on him. I don't think they quit on him, and we saw defensively what he can do, particularly when he has his fingerprint on the defense. But they had to bring in a competent offensive mind. It would be stupid and negligent not to bring in a competent offensive mind when you knew you were going to have to bring in Caleb Williams. You were doing everything to court Caleb Williams so this was seamless as possible. You know, that's just the truth of the matter. You're the Bears. You already failed Justin Fields. Some of it may be on Justin, but you failed Justin regardless. So that's a quarterback that just came out. I'm hesitant. I don't know. Now, common sense and Caleb being smart, that's the Bears. If I go there and I win there, I'm a legend. You know, like that's a different type of legend status right there. If you do, you know, like it's totally different. If you are a championship quarterback and it's you're the main focus that the Bears want, right? That's we in all fairness, we still kind of haven't seen it. We could say Jim McMahon, you know, and I love Jim McMahon as a kid growing up, but we all know Jim McMahon got hurt. You know, we think about, well, what if he stayed healthy or whatever? But imagine had Jim McMahon played throughout the rest of the remainder of the 80s and the Bears made it to 2 more Super Bowls and won one more. It's even a different level than what he's at right
now. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It'll be different. Like he would be like, we never think about it. You know that picture with like Andre Dawson, Sweetness, and Michael Jordan. And at that point, like it was Sweetness still really at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like that's Walter Payton. Like it was unquestionable. If you're talking about out of 3 of them, who would perhaps be the GOAT or could qualify as a GOAT, you know, you're looking more towards Sweetness. You know, and the Hawk, most of his knees was given to Montreal, but you know, we still loved him on the north side.
And he got the MVP.
I came home, and my aunt, who lived in Minnesota, she was a Twins fan. She would watch Cubs games, so I watched a lot of Cubs games in the 80s and early 90s because that was the TV that was in the front room, and she had control of it. But the point still being that when you're talking about the status, and I was getting back to that Jim McMahon part, he was never in that photo with those gentlemen. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a knock on him, but that getting to Caleb, dog, if it works, and I think it will work, I'm gonna still take a wait and see approaching up. You know, on here, I was team, you got to go get him. All right. But even if your team, you got to go get him, you still have to see it work. Because there's been a lot of players where he could just be really, really good. I think he could be great. I'm going to take a wait and see approaches. He's going to be great. And that's because I want him. Doesn't mean it's going to matter what happens at the end of whatever is his tenure here in Chicago. So I think it's a good matchup between the offensive coordinator and the quarterback. I think they got him one in both cases. I think, you know, I don't know the last time, Shawn, and maybe you can tell me, when's the last time that they've had an offensive coordinator who was maybe that seems like he could be this good and this capable with quarterbacks who have done well? Not just like Geno Smith led the league in yards. Let's not forget that when he took over starting, like Ruff was cooking till halfway through that year, and it was like, oh, maybe he shouldn't cook all the way. Remember, it got like to week like 11. And then it was like, damn, I see why Pete Carroll don't let Russ just cook all the time, right? You got to bring Russ in a little bit, and Russ was never the same after that. So I think it's good that they're doing what a competent organization does, and that, I mean, it's sad to say, but it's just the truth of the matter, in my opinion.
You know,
he is Buka. Go ahead, my
bad. Maybe Norv Turner and Cutler. But they're good 1 year, so they never I would say my only thing is Norv was never the first iteration of Norv. That first iteration of Norv is the Bears offensive coordinator. That was before he went to Illinois. That was sweet. You know what I'm saying? Like that was sweet. But that would probably be it. I would think that would probably be it for me. I mean, you had the razzle dazzle that we saw that didn't necessarily work out. We had Nagy, the fizzle. We had Nagy. You see that you had Mike Martz. That traded Greg Olsen. That's a different discussion. Yeah, that's a whole nother.
It's just, you know, it's again, the point being, it's a move that capable franchises are supposed to make, and it's good that they made it. But I'm not going to bend my back over backwards to kiss my own backside to get them props about it.
Yeah, and we got to see it play out. We've got to see it play out. One of the things that Off the Dub said, you know, if Waddle was so good, why did Seattle let him go? What was the issue? No, he wasn't. They didn't let him go. Pete Carroll got fired. So when Pete Carroll once a head coach gets fired, his assistants are fair game. Like you can't talk to them. You got to request to talk to them. But once the head coach gets fired and that staff's gone, he's fair game. And this wasn't the only spot that he was interviewed at. All right, the Bears just said, you ain't getting out of this building. End of story. You are not leaving this building. What do I got to do to you? What do
Right.
I have to say to make you stay here?
Exactly. Also, I mean, look at it like this: if the Seahawks front office were going to promote him, he wouldn't be. If he was going to become the head coach, he wouldn't have been here. But also, like with common sense, clearly Shane Waldron's end goal is to be a head coach. If you know, and the Bears, I'm sure, told him, we're about to line up this offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever we do, if we're at quarterback, we're probably going to draft another offensive weapon. And at least they're telling them their thoughts, depending on how the draft falls out, right? And definitely they probably told him if there's another receiver out there that's available, we'll go get. Like the same thing they did with Caleb. If you don't think they told Caleb, like, yo, we're going to put this sugar on here, you crazy. We all, listen, all of us here have been courting before. All right, like you, it's the same game. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna put up the pros of how it's gonna be, and you're gonna lessen the cons of how it's gonna go. It's the same type of game. So I mean, I think the thing that helps the Bears and what you're saying as far as a reason for him to stay is look at what we're gonna do, and if it works out in 2 seasons, it could be this year. But if it's to say it's 2 years, you're going to be the hottest coach on the market, because if Caleb comes and becomes the player he's supposed to be, everybody's going to want you to come in and do it either with their young quarterback or rookie quarterback or some vet, because you've proven that you can do it with vets like Geno Smith. So, again, it was a really sound and smart decision. We still got to see it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I think this is the thing. How quickly will it take place is kind of the question. Because it may take weeks for all. It may be bumpy and could take half a season where just to really get it going, because you're just not talking about Caleb learning a new offense. You're talking about all these players on offense basically learning a new offense. So like that, it may take a second. I hope it doesn't. But I'll be patient for a bit. You know what I'm saying?
Now, how important is that schedule now that we don't play our division until the end and we start week 11? So now that you get all the bump, all the hiccups out of the way, I don't think there's a lot of teams. There's some, but I don't think there's a lot of teams in those first 10 weeks, those first 9 games, that'll really exploit us when we screw up. And we're going to screw up. We're going to have, Texans could be one, the Rams could be one, maybe the Jaguars. I don't know. We don't know about the Colts because how's Richardson going to come out? He's starting, so there's not a lot. The second half of the season, you got your whole division, and you got the Niners, and you got Seattle. So I think by that point, we should have all engines fired. Not as good as this offense will be, but it'll be pretty good at that point. I think all the bump, it'll be a lot smoother at that particular one after week 10, because you've gone through 10 weeks now, and we're a lot more comfortable with each other. He knows Caleb knows him, how he plays, because camp is one thing. Preseason games are one thing. You're going up against vanilla defenses. You're up against, guys for one series, whatever. There's nothing crazy about it. Regular season, that's a whole nother ball game. And then after 10 weeks, man, you got to know what you're dealing with, and you know what adjustments to make at that particular point. I think that's when it might even be sooner, but I think that's when for sure the training wheels come off Caleb.
All right. So one, for our guest to give us the preview of the Titans, we had Tyler Rowland from Locked On Titans. He was actually pretty good. Says he loves this is his favorite city. It was a lot of pandering back and forth. But the reason I'm bringing it up is he has the Bears going to the playoffs. Now I bring it up to show what I have to say. Shawn, I would have still liked to see, would have liked to have seen, when looking at the Bears schedule, a Lions game and perhaps a Packers game in the beginning of the season. Yeah. I still would have, even if they would have lost, because my fear is, and your point is valid as far as if they get to a point where they're just cooking and it gives them a better chance to beat those teams, but it still could be a situation where, you know what, even that we're cooking, we've never played the teams at this level who are the contenders in the NFC before, when you're talking about the Lions, the Packers, and the 49ers. And I would have liked for them to get a taste of that while they're matriculating, getting towards the middle to the end of the season, rather than just taking on a juggernaut. Because my fear in it, I hope we all keep it sound with the context, is what if they start off really well and then they come back to earth at the end of the season, and are people going to be mad when it's still a lopsided schedule? It's a lopsided schedule. If they knock everybody out, F it, great for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they forget this game, like, for real, no, I'll stand here corrected. I mean, but I think I had the Bears getting 10 wins this season. I believe had the Bears getting 10 wins this season.
I was going to ask you at the end, but okay.
I had the Bears getting 10 wins. So that's still saying that I definitely have them in the run, for a wild card spot or whatever. So I think it's possible, but I'm still going to be honest with you. I'm going to take a wait and see. And I mean this in a positive way because, I don't know if I've ever seen a defensive backfield like what the Bears have right now. You were playing the clips from, the insurance bowl with KC and the Bears backups, and just to see who the guys the Bears let go. I know that Reddy's on the practice squad, and I will say parts of Hard Knocks I did like to getting to see and know Adrian Colbert more. The last 2 episodes were the best episodes for me personally. Ian Wheeler and everything that happened with him. But again, like for them to be that good when it comes to picking defensive, and I wish they can do it with offensive linemen. But when you start to see what perhaps if they can get 12, and I want more than this, but a hard 12 other sacks from who's ever in the rotation outside of Montez Sweat, you can really start thinking about this defense can be fearful. Be fearsome, and like one thing
you want 12 combined sacks between Booker, DeMarcus Walker, whoever else is at that right end. Not interior, at the end.
No, we're not counting interior. We're not counting those are different sacks. Those different sacks from the interior, right? If we can get us 7 to 8 in there, then maybe. And now if Gervon Dexter pops, we'll see. I don't know. I think it's a lot to put on his plate. I've stated that. I think it's a lot to put on his plate to say, particularly when coming out of Florida, talking to the coaches of Florida. His coach at Florida, rather, and just him talking about, it's going to take some time, but he believes that, he's a physical specimen. He was going to do this. This was after last year's draft or whatever. But the point being, this defense is going to give the Bears the ball back offensively a lot this year. And that's where it's like, this could get real nice real quick.
How
and
comfortable are you, bro? Because you do that, you get the ball back. That's short fields sometimes. That's ball in positive territory a lot of times. All right, or right across the 50. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to go 45 yards, you got to go 30 yards, you got to go 56 yards for a score. How important is that for Caleb and for this offense? When you're trying to get him in rhythm.
I think it's important, but I want to piggyback on what you're saying. I also think special teams is going to provide that too.
Bingo.
With Corey Taylor. To me again, and it's hard being a Chicago sports fan because we are the mistreated. You know what I'm saying? Like we love our teams and often we don't get the same reciprocation when it comes to that. So I'm always hesitant, but I really believe this team is going to be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like I really do. I think this team is going to be nice. I think their offense is going to have some plays that make you scratch your head, but I believe that I think Caleb's going to be nice. I think you already see he can do the stuff he can do at college. The question is, one, will they protect him and will he be able to efficiently function within the pocket? And I believe he's smart enough to do that. Like if he wasn't smart enough to do that, I'd be like, I would still be like, I guess we got to draft him. But I believe he's intelligent enough to become that player under center, but he has to be protected. And I still will go down with saying that, I said this last year with the offensive line that I had concerns. There's not as many, but health and gelling like that. And that can happen. Like we know sometimes it just takes 3 weeks for some guys that really haven't been out there consistently together to really just get it. So I'm definitely happy when it comes to what I think the Bears season will be. And I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for Sunday. This has been one of the best. Before the shit hits the fan, this has probably been one of the best Bears periods in a minute. You know what I'm saying? I'll say 2018. This has been one of the best periods. The Fields draft. So I would go Fields draft, that one, and then the 2018. Either it can be when they traded for Khalil Mack, or just how the season took off and how well we thought perhaps they would be in 2019
and 20.
Yeah, those were probably like out of the last decade. Perhaps my best, and like so this offseason ranks up there with those. I would probably, if hindsight's being 2020, I would probably put this at number 1 now. You know what I'm saying? Like because even with they drafted Justin. They were desperate to try to save their asses, and they didn't set him up right. You think about the Andy Dalton situation. They didn't set that up right. 2018, we saw that, Matt Nagy probably wasn't an offensive mind, but we were hoping that, man, maybe next year it'll be, 201, and we never got out of 101. But this year, there's less questions. I guess is the point that I'm trying to get to. There's really less questions. The real question is, can Caleb be as good as we want? The defense is going to be good. The question will be, do they have to bring pressure because they only got one guy that's a dominant defensive lineman? That's kind of the question. Like we saw last year before the Sweat trade, that Eberflus went against his nature and was sending more heat. And so it'll be a question of, are you going to mix that in where sometimes you may have to do that even now that you have Sweat to make sure you can keep other teams off balance and not get their offense necessarily up and running again. Also, I'll say this too, when I'm looking at, I'm interested. I'm going to tell you one thing about defense I'm interested in this year. I'm interested to see the run defense. I'm interested. I'm interested to see the run. I'm interested to see the run on the defensively and offensively. I want to see the gaps from the offensive linemen. Are they providing holes for these running backs to go through? But I also want to see our guys just flying to the open holes and just either sending that running back, to another defender or taking that running back out right there. That's going to be the thing that I would say I'm going to be interested in outside of how much pressure the front four is getting on the quarterback.
FFG style. Good morning, Papa. Thank you for tuning in. I agree. And I've said Shane Waldron was the best acquisition this offseason, and Eric Washington's the second. I couldn't agree more. Coaching matters. You've seen me. That's my mantra. It's so important. So yeah. And Cornelius says, and you've been right. I can't. No truer words are spoken, Cornelius. We've been the center of the football world the whole offseason, and everyone's talked about it. Everyone's talked. I even got. There's one girl I follow on social media. She was a weather girl for a while. She's doing her own thing now, and she's talking about the Bears. I'm like, you're from like DC or like Baltimore or something. Like, why are you talking about the Bears? And she's like, the Bears are going to be good. I'm like, stay over there. Stay over there.
She's been following Caleb. She's been following Caleb in her backyard.
True. You know what? You're right, because that's a DC guy.
Yeah, DMV. So she's been following Caleb.
So this defense, talk to me about this defense. We'll go back to the offense, but talk to me about this defense. Do you see, because I guess in what I hear Jalen Johnson talk, I hear other people talk, I hear a swag about them that they're extremely confident, but they still have a lot to prove. They still want to prove a lot to people, and that could be bad news for a lot of teams that they face.
Yeah, it makes you. I wish he had ended up on the NFL top 100. I think he deserved it. That's not just being a Bears fan. Of course we see him more than anybody else. And that's also winning. That's if they would have been a winning team last year, chances are he probably would have won it. But also sometimes it takes a season for people to catch up to what the real is. But yeah, I want them to have that smoke and determination, because defense is like, if you play sports, but you play football, I know you're an offensive player. Defense is all about disrespect. It's all about getting your mind like worked up.
Don't forget, I was the D coordinator. Like, I instilled that.
Okay, I apologize, but it's really about, like it's you don't have to go.
I'm telling you, you're getting less than 100 yards. Do something about it, like that type of attitude.
It's just you just gotta kind of get yourself going, because it's a reaction. It's the reaction position. You know what I'm saying? You really got to get your head in a space. Football in general, but you got to get your head in a space on defense where nobody even has to be talking trash. The trash talk just has to start and get to going. But even take that out, I just think they got a lot of talent on defense. With last year, right? People were upset. I'll full disclosure, I said prior to him getting traded that I'm not signing Roquan. I'm like, not in this defense, and it hasn't. I just believe that he's better than the 3-4. And I still think he would have been damn good, but I still felt, for me, I'm talking about Kenneth, there'll be some Sundays I'd be like, damn it, they gave him that money, because there were going to be times, even like last night, and it could happen to any linebacker or whatever, but there were going to be times for what they were asking him to do that sometimes it didn't happen, and you were paying him the top money. Now that money split between two linebackers, and I mean, TJ Edwards is a hitting machine. Like he could stop being a Bear today, and I should be like, that's a Bear, because he put that linebacker outfit on and he was giving his body out and sacrificing in ways. It's like, damn, son, you really about this life. Tremaine Edmonds was a wait and see, and he was hurt during camp at the beginning of last year. But you saw why they brought him in by the middle and the back end of the season. So, like, the thing with Ryan, I think this too. Let me tell you this about Hard Knocks. I think for me, the winner was Poles, because I think people already kind of know he's an up-and-comer, but it validates, it made him look like he showed his humanity, quote unquote, because you're not going to be an ass when you're cutting somebody. So, of course, you're going to show emotions or whatever. But still, I think for the most part, it was genuine. But I think, like, out of anything the Bears have done, he is the best thing that they've done, because he has logic and reason. You know, at times where only thing that I feel like where he and the only knock on logic and reason is, damn, I know you couldn't have, but if you could have got a 4th round for Valus, and I was pounding the table like, man, me and Alex on the show last week, I was like, Alex, they can't cut him because somebody gonna pick him up. I was like, nobody want him. I was like, Alex, there's teams out there that are gonna be like, I can figure that kid out. Let me bring him here. You can't. He's not clearing waivers. I was like, he's not. There's no way he's clearing waivers. But one thing about Poles, he wants to show that he's right, and he's at least gonna hold on to his guys drafted in those first 5 rounds for about 3 years. That you can see that about 3 years he's gonna hold on to him. But the point being, to get back to what I was saying, he uses common sense. It's just not, I got to make this trade because I got to make this trade. It's not that. It's reason. But when he said, you know, I'm ripping this down to the studs, I was like, please do. Because anytime someone tries to build on a faulty foundation, shit never works. You really, if you want it to be yours, and clearly where it's a problem, where, issue where you could be like, I did everything I thought I could do and it failed, compared to I did that stuff, but I was building off of what Ryan Pace did, and that was all still, I held on to these players of his when I knew I should have cleared the books. We may have sucked for a year and a half, but still, like, dog, you need to do what's best to set you up for the long run, not the short term. So for me, seeing how he uses logic to put the best players, to select the best players, to bring in the best players, it makes me feel good. I'll ask you this, and again, this is early. How often, as in a Chicago team, have we had perhaps an up-and-coming personnel person? You know, like, because I don't think we talk about that enough. Like, we focus on players a lot. Man, we're going to draft this and draft that. It really depends on who's the person selecting these people and how good they are at their jobs, not just in the draft, but pro personnel also. And for me, like, I think there's a chance that Poles may be a stud. He's still going to mess up. Nobody is shooting for 80%. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you get around 70, you're doing a damn good job when you're talking about 53-man roster, if you're getting around 70 on that bad boy. But to get back to your defense, man, I really enjoy this defense. I know I can't get everything that I want this offseason. They still need another edge rusher. Or no, forget it. They need a real 3 technique if you don't have that in Gervon Dexter. And you need at least another offensive lineman or 2. But again, you can't fix everything in 3 seasons. But at least now it's whittled down to where you're like, dog, only thing we really got to do is this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's your draft focus, your free agent focus window is so much smaller than what it was a year ago or 2 years ago, because you've insulated with so many of these players that you drafted or brought in. So I think the defense is going to be real well. I just wonder about the pressure, Shawn. I wonder if the run defense will be stout, and I wonder about the pressure from the front 4. But if someone snaps and they get, you know, a guy that comes in and gets 8 sacks, I'm just saying by himself, outside of Montez Sweat, man, that defense can be easily top 5. And I mean, I think if this defense is good, it should be top 5 anyway.
You know, one of the things that I'm thinking is, you know, I think they're saying, okay, let's put a Band-Aid over it. And I don't want to call Booker a Band-Aid, because I think Booker can be really, really good. I think he can be really good. But I also think that next year you have a very deep class and edge class coming out. So you will get that. Now you put that type of rotation, that stud defensive end, and Booker, holy shite, man. And God forbid that Gervon Dexter take that step forward. So now you got Sweat, Dexter, Billings, and 2 studs on the other side. And I think that's what Ryan Poles was doing. I think Ryan Poles was, like I said, I think the Bears are a playoff team. I think their ceiling, and this is if everything goes right, like the 2016 Cubs, everything went right for them. All right. If everything goes right for them, I think they can get to the NFC Championship game. And if you're there, shit, anything can happen. Quarterback goes out one play, boom, and you know what I mean? Anything. All right. But I'm thinking Ryan Poles is saying, hey, listen, I don't think this is our championship window. I think we make the playoffs. But if all those things do happen to go right, I don't want to get to the Super Bowl and be like, oh, damn, we couldn't get pressure on the quarterback because we were light here. We were light there. I think that's why the Matthew Judon sweep, they were in the sweepstakes for Matthew Judon because, like, just in case, it's not highly unlikely, but just in case. And that's what I like about him. I like to, hey, listen, we got a squad because you and I, we've seen this defense could really take over games. I mean, they're not trying for turnovers. They're trying for house calls. They're trying for house calls. It's like, boom, ball on the ground, boom. I love it. I love it. And the one thing that they still don't do that bugs me they did it when I was a defensive coordinator, I snapped. It was when everyone wants to run down with the dude next to him and start, yeah, and the dude comes from behind and makes a tackle. I was, man, the first time that happened, I don't know if I could have let out more cuss words. There's more cuss words than non-cuss words in my rant in film. I was like, don't you ever freaking do that. I said, you take 2 steps with him. I said, then you turn around and you find the nearest guy. Right. You'll see the guy coming. You'll see him coming from there. There's one dude, and there's always going to be a guy who's going to try. I said, you block him. And you can celebrate with him in the end zone. I said, but you go find it. If that ever happens again, we're going to run till I get tired. Oh, I was so pissed. But that's but that's the thing that this team does. They create over, and they're trying to get to the house. They're trying to take it. I mean, they're trying to change the game. They're trying to win the game like the 06 Bears. Like, dude, you know what I mean? And that's what gets me really excited. And I'm seeing people trying to strip the ball. I'm seeing them going to take the ball away. All right, I asked for that. I said, I hope I see that more. And I'm watching them like, oh snap! Like I see a guy, ball didn't come out, but you see his hand rip, but he's going for the ball. Like, that's what I need to see. I'm seeing it. It's going to happen more often than not. And guess what? There could be house calls, and that's why I think this team has a really good chance. And separate, aside from the offense, they might win games by themselves, and that's the scary part. And they're not even done with this team being. This defense isn't even whole yet. We got that other right end. If you get another stud like that,
dude. Don't also look while we dreaming, and I'm not saying this in a negative sense. Don't think if they start off hot, come trade time, he's not sending one of those draft picks for somebody to solidify a trench. Now it's probably defensive, but don't think if it looks like because you got to remember the window is 5 years. It's Caleb's contract. That's the window, right? That's the window where we can do this. All right, where it's like, hey, let's blow it. Because you don't have to pay a quarterback $60-70 million by the time Caleb's contract comes. And this, of course, if Caleb is good. So the window is opening. I'm definitely interested. I don't want to jump and put the cart ahead of the horse. I'm definitely gonna be interested if this season goes well, what this offseason is gonna look like. Because if this season goes well, they're definitely gonna try to win the Super Bowl next year. Like that's where it's everything that Houston is doing this year, where they like, oh, you know what? We going for it, right? He a stud. Oh yeah, we got to try to get this right now before it's time to pay this kid, right? Let's bring in Diggs. You know what I'm saying? Let's bring in Danielle Hunter. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to get this all shored up. But yeah, I love what they're doing. The only question is still the real question. I feel like when it comes to the Bears, is the offensive line. I mean, that's the real. Everything else you can kind of cover. You can generate pressure. It's not what you want to do. But you should you still got a crazy ass defensive end in Montez Sweat. It'd be different. And I think the thing is too, with this Montez Sweat thing is Montez Sweat was like in one of the most talented trio. I mean, quartets.
Quads,
quartets. When I'm just talking about talent, not the production all the way. But you didn't know alone, you didn't know if he was one of the best backup singers in there, and you didn't know it was when he was by himself, like he a hit maker. Like you didn't know, like that boy good, right? You didn't know. He's like, you know what I'm saying? What you about to say?
He's like Mariah Carey. Remember, Mariah Carey was a backup singer for Brenda K. Starr. And most people don't know who the hell Brenda K. Starr is, but she was a backup singer for Brenda K. Starr. I still believe that's a song by Brenda K. Starr that Mariah Carey remade. And no one knew how good Mariah Carey was. She was just Brenda K. Starr's backup singer until all of a sudden she went on her own. So I see what you're saying with Montez Sweat. Like, you good.
You good. Yeah, we thought he was gonna come here, maybe get like 6.5 sacks, and we'd be like, yo, we got a good end. It's like, damn, you nice, right? And so I think that makes me feel better because I think I would say he's the second tier because I don't think he's not Garrett. He's not Micah Parsons right now, but I think he's the tier right below those guys, basically. And I mean, I think that's a tier. Yeah, that's what I'm. Yes. I think he's that type of good. So when you got something like that, it's a lot of stuff you can do when you have a fixture. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a fixture. He's just not like, oh, he good. No, he's a fixture. So that on the defensive, the trenches side, it kind of makes it easier for me, but it's just still worrying about protecting the pocket. Like it's going to matter, but I hope sometimes when the discussion with Caleb and him winning from the pocket, I hope we're also factoring in is the pocket clean or not. Because that's going to be kind of the discussion, you know what I'm saying? In the context, it's like, but he's still doing, but it's like, yeah, but if the pocket's not clean, he has to do all of that, not like that's going to kind of be what I'm kind of looking at.
Yeah, that's true. And guys, we're joined by Ken Davis, the host of the Under Center podcast from NBC Sports Chicago, talking Bears football here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. I think you hit it right. I think there's not a lot of holes left on this team. Unfortunately, the holes that we do have are very, very valuable, very vital, and that's the offensive line. Like we got to see, and the holes might be smaller than we think. Like if Tevin stays healthy, cool. If Nate stays healthy, cool. All right. If Braxton, can stay healthy, he's able to get, he's going up against who's their defensive end? Barlissimo was talking about him earlier. Whose strength is bull. So okay, I assume, and maybe I should make that assumption because making an assumption, make an ass out of you an umption. But that he's going to get stronger, like he got stronger from year 1 to year 2. He improved on his bull rush, or on protecting against the bull rush. Wasn't great, wasn't perfect, but he improved. Not again. So I think Braxton Jones is going to be okay. I think Darnell Wright's going to be okay. It's that center spot for me that really is that center going to be okay, because if we and are they going to stay healthy? Obviously, health is the most important thing. If you get those guys 3 games in a row, 4 games in a row, I think this run game is going to really, really help out Caleb. This run game is going to, DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert, I'm still not sold on Roschon, man. He's still got and it's not even quit. Valence Jones, dude, that mug's like, he realized he was on his last leg. Like, okay, let me rip this off.
I'm with you so hard. I hope. I'm waiting to see what Roschon is going, who Roschon is going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like I am, and that was even kind of the fear of when people were like, it's too many running backs in that running back room. And it's like, yeah, but Valence, and I'm like, yeah, well, I don't know about Roschon. When y'all talking about Valence, make it, get kicked up out of here, whatever. And of course, Roschon has had a lot more time, from Texas on to here to know, the intricacies of that position at running back and everything like that. But still, I haven't seen all the stuff that they were saying from last year. Hopefully it gets better. If not, they got guys in front of them that are nice. When you're talking about, I think for me, when free agency took place, I didn't think they were going to go for Saquon. DeAndre Swift was the guy that I wanted. I'm like, get him. Like it was, the money was going to probably be right. I'm like, get him, particularly with what he can do in the passing game. And then you add in that you got a guy that is a crazy change of pace, gap exploiter in Khalil Herbert behind him. You have a formidable backfield, as far as the talent that they have in that backfield. And as your point is, it should benefit Caleb just having a guy like Swift to dump the ball off to if the play is broken, but it should also benefit him in play action if those guys are just killing people and the fear of I'm about to hand the ball to them and oops, it's a pass play and it's on your ass. So, dude, I think, like I said, I got him having 10 wins. I think this is going to be a good year. I worry about how the season is going to end because I think the NFL did them a disservice with how they stacked up all of their division games at the end of the season. And this is the best division in the NFC. What division is better? I don't think the NFC East. I don't think the NFC East is. I definitely don't think the NFC South is. I'll see in the West, who you got the 49ers. Seattle doesn't scare me.
Rams.
Cardinals, the Rams. So you got the 49ers and the Rams, where here but here you got the Lions, you got the Pack, you got the Bears, and the Vikings had the same amount of wins as the Bears did last year. Like, so, people act like the Vikings had like 3 victories last year. They had 7 victories and Justin Jefferson was out basically the entire season. This isn't an easy division. Like, that's the thing.
No,
like, this isn't an easy division. So
but you think they did him a disservice?
Yeah, I think they did them a dis. I'm telling you, for me, this is again.
Mhm.
I could
No,
be
no,
wrong.
yeah.
I think they did them. It's the same with the Steelers. I think when you and look, put it, and you know why it's the same with the Steelers? It's because look at what the AFC North is. It'd be different if we played in the NFC South and you did this shit. Because several of those teams we could beat easily, right? But you're talking about teams that almost made the Super Bowl last year. 2 of them reside in here, and we played them twice. And then throw the 49ers in there, then throw that you don't know what the Vikings is still one of those games. It wouldn't be. Yeah. It's a division game. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what playing in the division is. It's a division game. Even if you suck that year, I can take a game because I know you. I know your traits. Now, of course, they got to get to know Shane Waldron, but by then, half the damn league gonna know what the Bears' preferences are because it's all at the back end of the year. I do. I think, and I said to you at the beginning of this, our discussion, I wish 2 of those games were in this first half. It could have been one of the hard teams in the Vikings game, but I just wish it was one so that they can gauge themselves earlier in the season. It's a lot better for me to know, like just playing sports, right? Oh, that's what a real team feels like. We got to get our stuff together, right? And then by the time we face you again, I have an expectation of, I got to raise this up to where now it's at the end of the year. Now it's like, whoa, it's real out here. And again, I could be wrong. This is just my opinion on why I don't think the NFL did them justly, particularly with a rookie quarterback. I don't think it was a great schedule for the Bears, but it is what it is. You got to play the schedule you've been given. I'd love for them to show me like it don't matter. It doesn't matter who we line up against. We're gonna whoop that ass. I'd love that to be what takes place. Like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, man, I got to be right at the end of the year, man. They gotta suck. No, prove me wrong. Go and whoop that ass. You know what I'm saying? But I just think that's a lot. Particularly by then, attrition may have kicked in. Like this is the end of the year. You got to take on the Lions, the Pack, and the 49ers. And we don't even know if Seattle's going to be good. Look, let's not act like Seattle's offense won if they don't got weapons on that bad boy, right? Like the only trio that you could put in the universe with the Bears trio is Seattle's trio. We're talking about wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? When you're talking about DK, Lockett, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a nice trio you got right there. I don't know if there's our trio. You got you look good.
I know who's getting the ball, but Geno.
But look, but we've seen that Geno can be competent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Geno can be competent, and we have to look and see what the new offensive coordinator is going to do over there. If he's going to bring in a different wrinkle than what Waldron was bringing in, because Waldron liked to do a lot of 12. I mean, he liked to play with the 2 tight ends out there a lot and stuff like that. So we have to kind of see. So I mean, again, I'm helping. Everything works out for us, and I'm happy. I mean, this is, again, one of the best Bears off seasons where, one, it just wasn't about talent acquisition. It was about, did it make sense? Like, how much of this makes sense? And a whole lot of it made a lot of sense. The fact that he was like, if Matthew Judon's not signing this contract, I'm not trading for him. You damn right.
He's going right back he reverts right back to the Patriots. His word, quote unquote. And I love it. And that's, I think we all like Ryan Poles because, one, he was an undrafted free agent, all right, who had his tryout, didn't make it. Cool. I think that's more human than, he's a first-round pick, and all of a sudden now you're deified because you're a first-round pick. I get it. But also a lot of the moves he makes and the explanations he gives. You don't have to like the explanation he gives, but he gives you an explanation to say, okay, I see why. I don't agree with it, but I see why he did it. I think that him being open to us, to the media, and the fans in general, is another reason why he's endeared so much. And a lot of his moves, he's made it right. Like you said, no one's ever 100%, but the hits that he has way outshadow the misses, and some of the misses were big. You literally gave a first-round pick for Chase Claypool, all right? But then you weren't scared again to go back and make another trade, but you got Montez Sweat. You know what I mean? Like, He wasn't scared, and I like that. Right. And I'll disagree with you on the schedule thing, and here's why. Mm-hmm. There are not a lot of teams, Texans. And then you talk about a team that'll test us. That's a team that'll test us. They still got Slowick. Now they're in their second year. That's definitely a team that'll test us. The Rams, maybe,
the Rams ahead of schedule. Rams are.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're another team that'll test us.
They're ahead of schedule.
And then I want to say Jacksonville, because now they're in year 2.
But which one of those teams are Super Bowl threats, though? Like we could say Houston. Maybe we still have to see, is there any regression? Like I'm Listen, I'm Alabama all day, every day. There was no way last year, if it was like the Bears taking the quarterback, I was CJ Stroud. I was not taking Bryce Young. It wasn't happening. I never would. And look, I'm not dissing his talent because that boy has a computer in his brain prior to the damn snap. So I wasn't questioning his talent. But when you saw what CJ Stroud did to Georgia, it was like, oh shit, you could be him. Like, yeah, look at what you could be. So I still have to see if that's where they are, and I hope they are. I'm a CJ Stroud fan. I want that to take place, but I'm still I wouldn't have them. One, just looking like this when we saying like that, it's Super Bowl teams. You got Baltimore. You got, of course, the Super Bowl champs in Kansas City, right? You got the Bengals, right? Like there's teams that are I'm with you. I'm just still saying nationally because I'm not the biggest Bengal person because one, I think attrition is always going to be an issue with them, and also the Jamar Chase not being signed, and is he going to really go out there and do what he needs to do? So I wouldn't draft anybody in that offense. Me personally, I'm not a Dolphins guy, but you just got to throw the Dolphins up in there. Point being, there are a lot of teams ahead of Houston before you would put in Houston if we were doing this, if we were taking a vote nationally. Now here in the NFC, the teams that we're talking about at the back end of the schedule are the top teams that are supposed to be in the Super Bowl from the NFC side. So that for me is the reason why I'm saying this. It's not, I don't, it's one of those things. It's not that I don't hope that they do it. I'm just being a realist about how things may play out. Of course, I want it to be like that, but I'm not going to come up on here and lie to you just for the sake of lying.
But here's where I stand is that there's not a lot of teams that'll exploit us. Maybe 2 or 3, okay, in those first 9 games. That gives us a chance to screw up. That gives us a bigger margin for error because the Packers won't give us a chance. Detroit, man, they're so pissed and embarrassed. They wouldn't give us a chance. They would definitely exploit us if we played them early. We still got to get our footing. All right. You give me week 10 after 10 weeks, 9 games, you're good. That offense should be rolling well. I'd rather face those guys, and I know they're going to be rolling well too. All right, because they're 9 games into the season as well. But I'd rather us face them when we're finally rolling than all right, we already got a loss on them. We already got a loss to this team because of that.
Look at college. Like, look at the difference now when you look at USC before that LSU game, and it was like, man, I don't know about that. And now you sit there and whooped on their ass who was ranked higher than you. Look at Texas and Alabama the last few years. Look at when you play them early. And even if you lose to them, because one, it's an early loss, but it sets the measuring rod for you. And again, this is one of those things. Either one of us can be right. It's just now we get into like ESPN debate shit, where it's just like, it doesn't really matter who's right, to be honest with you. Like, if that's how you feel, cool. It doesn't matter. I'm just simply saying we can sit here and be like, I hope this thing, you hope that thing. I just hope they're winning at the end of the year and they're in the playoffs. About that. Like, this is just what, like, sometimes this isn't a you thing. It's like I used to really enjoy ESPN. And then when I turn it on, it's not a lot of teeth in it. It's just like you take an opposing view, and it's just like, and it's natural. And I think all of ours here, we're having a natural discussion and debate, but it's just one of those things where I could be wrong, and it's fine if I'm wrong. It's not that serious to me.
Yeah. Well, I think it's going to be fun. I think there's going to be some ups. I think there's going to be some really, really crazy moments. I am so excited.
It's going to be some. There's going to be. It's just, first of all, this is the NFL. There's gonna be something that happens at the beginning of the season that we didn't see coming. That's just the truth of the matter. It could be just a team that we thought we should kick their ass and they're gonna beat the Bears. It can be an injury that could mess up things, or the flip side, it can be that they start off like 7-1. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I was going. It could be either or. But it's just how it goes. You can't expect in any sport, but particularly a violent sport, in a sport that has as much parity as the NFL has, you don't know how this is going to go. We don't know how good any of these teams are. We're kind of going off of last year, and some of these teams played well enough last year. You can say, I expect them to be around the same area. We don't know this until this stuff starts kicking off and taking place. Like, we don't. So, again, I'll wait and see. I'm happy. I think they're in a great situation. I think their future should be bright. I think I'll say this: the only really thing, and I'm knock on wood, that can really hurt this is some badass injury, and I mean that could hurt future seasons, not just this season, right? Outside of that, man, they may not.
I'm getting Alonzo Ball injury.
Whoa, that I don't even want to do that with you. I don't want to do that with you. I don't want to do that with you. I don't want to do that with you because, man, the beginning of that year, boy, I swear, that year they had us in the grips of their hands. And then
I was fired up, boy. I was fired up for that season too.
Dude, that's it. They had that dog. I mean, nobody said they would have won the title, but they would have been interested for about 2.5 seasons, period. Yeah. If he hadn't gotten hurt like that, like to that. But that's the only. And again, look, how often does that happen in a sport like football, where usually you can be rebuilt, right? Like that. You can't hurt you with, and this again, I'm not putting this on him. You shouldn't be able to hurt Caleb enough where it ruins his career. It would have to be something crazy, and that's really the player I'm talking about. It have to be something or Montez Sweat. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody else, you damn near. And I'm not hating on the D. Only reason I'm saying this, I'm not including DBs, is because it seemed like they can find these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Like it seemed like they got that locked up. Where it's like you need a DB, got a DB, got a DB. You need a DB, got a DB. But like, if something happens to your best offensive player and your best defensive player that limits them moving forward, I think it's the only thing that can stop this Bears team in the near future from being in the playoffs and perhaps being in contention. I think that's how stacked they are. It'll be interesting to see. And again, I don't want to fast forward to the offseason, but again, things look like they're going so well. It makes me giddy to see what they do next. To end it on that.
Yeah, and you know what? I think if we are rolling, like I said, we have a chance to go 7-2, even if we go 6-3 in those first 9 games before we hit the Packers week 11. If we do that and we just split those last 8 games, all right. I think before then, if we're 7-2, and I don't remember when the trade deadline is, but if we're rolling, I think I agree with you. Don't be surprised if Ryan Poles makes a trade with one of a DB, a draft pick for a stud defensive end who wants to change the scenery and willing to sign a contract. Because that means next year you don't got to go get a stud an edge. You can go to get stud offensive linemen to solidify the middle 3. That's what I'm. So I wouldn't be surprised. But before we let you go, let's give me our picks. I know you gave yours already. Give yours again, and I'll give mine. What do you predict the Bears? First of all, give me a prediction for Sunday and then for the season.
Sunday, I say the Bears are going to win I think it's going to be 20-something to 17 or something like that. I think the Bears are going to be in the 20s, and I think the Titans, and this could be just being pie in the sky and the Kool-Aid in me. I think they'd be lucky to get to 17 because I think the Bears is going to get on that boy, and I mean Will Levis
in a heartbeat.
I think they're going to get on them. And I think once they get going with everything that they have on the back end from those DBs and those linebackers, I think it's going to be turnover central. So I think the Bears are easily going to be in the 20s. It wouldn't shock me if they made it to 30. But I think I don't see the Titans getting into the 20s. I see the Titans only making it to the teens, in my opinion. And again, I have the Bears at least winning 10 victories this season for me. And I think that would be a successful season. I think if we're saying how good I saw somebody put 12 wins in here. I think it was Cornelius earlier. I think I would say 11 would be my height because I just still it's really just how tough, and it's not a knock. You gotta grow through your division. You got to take on those teams that are ahead of you and learn how to beat them consistently before the division becomes yours. So I say max out 11 probably for me. But if they made it to 12, I'd be ecstatic if they made it to 12.
Okay. So you're saying for all intents and purposes, 24 plus, if they 24-17, maybe more. Maybe them more, maybe Titans a little less.
I would go, I would say 27-17 to be honest with you.
Okay.
Is where I kind of feel like a 3-point up or 3-point down, where it's either they can get to 30 or they may be at 24. But I think listen, they have a nice receiver core. When you look at Boyd, look at Calvin Ridley, and look at B-Hop, I know that Will Levis showed a connection with B-Hop last year. He was, his blankie. But I just still think when you're talking about the defensive backfields that the Bears has, I think it's going to be a mess for the Titans. Maybe if they were playing in Tennessee, I would give the Titans a few more points, but I think it's going to be a mess. I know he's a game time decision. He may be out. I thank you, Dre Grizz, on that. You're right.
But if he plays, where's he going to be? You know what I mean? He ain't close to 100%. Like if he's playing and I'm Jalen Johnson, I'm pressing him. I'm because I don't remember what's his injury. What's his injury? Do you remember what his injury is?
I was looking at it. I was looking at it yesterday, but I didn't. I remember them talking about his availability, but I don't remember.
Yeah. So if it's anything lower body, then you go muscle him up, because now you ain't getting off the line. If you ain't getting off the line, you're nullified. So sometimes just because he's playing, they'll be like, oh man, DeAndre Hopkins playing. If he's got a bad knee, he's got a bad ankle. There ain't no jump balls. He's winning. All right, he ain't coming off the line.
No man says knee. Jay Grizz says ACL. I'm gonna say this. I don't think it's gonna matter if he plays or doesn't play. Bears win regardless.
Yeah.
I don't think. Look, and again, I love B-Hop. I think he's had a great career.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to matter. I think the Bears are going to get on them, and they're going to take an L early in the year from the Bears. I don't see Tennessee beating the Bears. I'll say this, and this is good if I'm wrong. I'll say context-wise, if the scorer is tighter, I bet it won't be where it seemed like it throughout the game, or some fluky stuff had to happen to make it tighter. It wouldn't be like, man, Titans was really giving it to him. Like, I don't think it's going to be like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't think the Titans got a chance versus the Bears, if I'm being honest with you.
All right, here's my prediction. 30 and that 10 might be a late touchdown against the second teamers.
Okay.
Yeah, I truly feel this defense is really, I think they're on one this year. I think there's so many guys who they really want to get that status of being the best team, best defense in the league. Hell, you were the last 6 weeks of the season last year. All right. And I think I think Eberflus is really tightening the screws on them with the pressure. Like, you don't settle. Don't settle. Last year's over and done with. We need to establish ourselves this year. I really think that this is going to do a whole. I think we might get 1 or 2 touchdowns or 1 or 2 scores. I'll just say scores would be easier because of the defense, because of a short field, because of a turnover, because of they held them.
It'll be a pick six in there somewhere. They're gonna be on their side of the ball, and you're gonna see like one of these DBs just jump in the lane, and by the time Will Levis turns around, that kid's gonna be in the end zone. But definitely
because Will Levis ain't catching them.
Yeah.
Will Levis ain't catching them. Here's what I have. Your season prediction. You said 10-7. You said they win 10 wins. I definitely have them. I have them with double-digit wins, 11-6. I got them going 11. I think, yeah, we're right. We're right there. One game, a ball bounces one way or the other. Yeah, so we're right about there. Yeah, I just think that this team they're so much good happened to them last year, and I've seen it so oftentimes where a team finishes strong. Hell, and I'm not putting them in that class, but I'm just using an example, like the 84 Bears. Like the 84 Bears when they lost to San Fran, they're like, oh, this team next year. And I'm not putting them in the Super Bowl. I'm saying I'm putting them in the playoffs. That's all I'm saying with this team. They're in the playoffs. They're fighting for that division, if anything. And that's why I'm saying if they get clicking early, because at week 11 or game number 10 against the Packers, the training wheels should be off Caleb at that particular point. You know what I mean? They should be off for this year. Next year is a whole nother story. But they should be off this year. Let's do it. And if we split those 4 games, those 8 games at the end, if we split and we go 7-2, there you go. There's 11-6 right there. So, and that's being conservative, splitting the last games. I think San Fran's gonna be tough, but that's also a measuring stick because you're going into the playoffs. Like, okay, where are we now? All right, early in the season, okay, cool. We won, we lost, doesn't matter. But you got a Super Bowl contending team because what are they going to be at that particular point when we face them? They're going to be on a roll, probably atop the NFC West. You go in there because remember we're going to San Fran. You go in there and you come out with a dub. Now you're like, oh snap! Or if you lose by 3, you're like, oh snap! We're a lot better here than we thought. So I'm looking forward to it. That the end of the season when this is rolling and Caleb's trading wheels are off. Man, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Hey, but anyway, man, thanks a lot, Ken. I appreciate it. Do me a favor. Let everyone know where they can find you online.
Oh, definitely, check me out at That's Davis under center. But I'll be around. So, Shawn, I appreciate you. Everybody in the chat, stay up. Everybody have a safe weekend, and let's go, man. Bears get this victory and kick this Titan ass real quick.
What does Jay Grizz say? SuperBack might as well book an Uber for the ward. Oh, no. I got to go pick her up. No, I'm going to get her, Jay Grizz. Oh, man. Yeah, bro. Guys, have a great weekend. Ken, thank you for coming on so much. I love talking football with you, bro. We will talk soon and bear to freak down. Where are you watching the game?
I'm watching it at the crib. The best place to watch it so I can just take notes and I don't have to hear a lot of mess. It's not in a bad way. If this being work is pleasant work. But I don't like a lot of stuff going on around me when I'm taking it in. And I also like to have the ability to rewind. You know what I'm saying? Like I like all of that on deck. So I got to usually be at the crib for the most part when I'm taking it in.
Bet, man. We'll have you on again soon, man. You have a great weekend.
All right, no doubt.
All right. Guys, that was Ken Davis from the Undercenter podcast on NBC Sports Chicago. Man, I am fired up. Man, 2 hours has come and gone. I want to thank Ken for coming on, talking Bears with me. That was a great conversation. Remember, if you missed it, make sure you go back and check it out on YouTube. All right, check it out later. And also, the show is going to replay tonight at 6 p.m. Coming up at 12:15, we have Second City Sports with Lakina McGee and Sydney Brown. They're going to join. They're going to give you another 2-hour tour of some Chicago sports. So make sure you tune in then as well. Folks, have a phenomenal weekend. So for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, all right, Elliot Baez, our executive producer, Clarence Council, our social media guy, and my co-host in absentia, Maya Akai. I'm your brother, SuperBack, Shawn Sierra. Guys, have a phenomenal weekend. Enjoy it. All right, it's gonna be a little brisk, but that's a nice ode to football. It's supposed to be like 65 on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check. Sunday 73. Come on, man. And cooler by the lake. Come on, man. You couldn't ask for a better day for football on Sunday. Woo, Charlie. Get to your barbecues, get to your people's house, get to your rooftops, get to wherever they're watching the game. All right, the bars. Man, have a phenomenal day. Bear down. I will see you guys on Monday. Your boy, the SuperBack. Again, for everyone here at Sports Zone Chicago, have a great weekend. And the boy, the SuperBack, guess what, peoples? I am out.